Hey everyone, Adam here. I just got finished with a conversation while playing Destiny with my good friend Mr. BBK Dragoon, and I got on a crazy train of thought that I probably talked his head way off about, but I thought would be interesting to both my gaming audience and as a discussion as well as my marketing businessy channel, personal channel audience. So I'm going to share this video kind of across both platforms here, but it's about the future of funding. And I'm kind of scared for where that will be. So a little bit of context. This is applying to both individual creators, content creation, the eSports scene, and as well as game development on the whole and just general content platforms. So what got us on the discussion was the discussion about eSports essentially going the super privatized route. 343 and Microsoft now own HCS, which is the Halo competitive scene. That's not what it stands for, that's what it is though. And that's kind of problematic. And just like League owns Riot, or Riot owns League, and StarCraft, the main tournament, is pretty much in WCS, which is ran by StarCraft. The issue is that by the games essentially owning the league, that means that there's a lot of shady stuff that can go down. It's ultimate control by the publisher. And the publisher having ultimate control of everything is not a good idea, but no one can really afford to do anything else. Then I connected that to same thing going on with the game development industry at the moment, in that publishers are shutting down second-party studios, third-party studios, because they just can't afford to keep funding them. They're only funding first-party titles, so they have complete ultimate control over the development, publishing, and release of the games, as well as the decisions that are made within them. And then content creation is starting to kind of, go various ways. Now, content creation is still well supported at the moment, but across all platforms pretty much, we had the ad-supported model, which went really well for a little while, but then a few years ago, that bubble popped. It is very hard to go strictly ad-supported and support any aspect. You can't do it for an esports league, you can't do it for an entire game, you can't do it for a content platform, YouTubers, bloggers, websites, etc. It just can't be done. The next solution was integration into brand deals a little bit, but that was done on the kind of shady side, and a lot of platforms did this. And now we're on crowdfunding, but we're starting to see the limits of that very quickly. Take a look at the, not Game Grumps, the Game Trailers guys. Game Trailers was this huge site, lots of content, they were doing a lot of stuff, and then it got shut down. And now they're going the crowdfunding route. They want everyone to support them on Patreon so they don't have to do any brand deals and keep going. Within the first week of their announcement, they had up to $17,000 pledged via Patreon, which is huge, absolutely huge for a Patreon pledge. But that does not sustain 8 dudes full time. That doesn't even sustain 1 dude full time. That's not a sustainable business model. And since they already said they're not doing brand deals, they're kind of screwed in that regard. So I'm not sure where they're going to make up their extra revenue there, but they're totally screwed. And you can't really crowdfund bigger things if everyone's invested in so many things. People can only pledge on Patreon to 1 or 2 YouTubers if they're doing any sort of significant amount, more than $1 basically, unless, you're super rich or on the high end of the wealth spectrum. And so personally, if I were to support on Patreon all the YouTubers that I regularly watch and thoroughly enjoy, I would be dead broke. And the same issue is coming up with the onlineification, the internetification of our television networks. Everyone complained about the cable costs and the rising price of television subscriptions. And then we switched to the internet model, and things seem to be going well. But now you need, to watch everything you watched on a cable subscription, you would need Hulu, Netflix, YouTube Red, HBO Go, the Showtime add-in for Hulu, all these extra subscriptions that add up and become really, really expensive. Now, the beauty in this is that you can pick and choose, just like with Patreon. You can pick and choose who you support. You can pick and choose whether you subscribe to YouTube or Netflix or Hulu or whatever, but they're all so limited, and even individual TV channels are trying to charge you money. CW keeps a lot of their recent stuff way behind a paywall. You only get, for example, The Flash. There is an ongoing second season of The Flash and a completed first season. The first season's on Netflix. As far as the second season go, you can only watch the past 5 episodes on Hulu with a paid subscription to Hulu. Other than that, you have to be subscribed to the CW itself or watch on your normal cable or satellite television subscription. CBS is doing a very similar thing. They have like the past seasons up on Hulu, but not the current season. You got to go through them for that. So crowdfunding doesn't exactly work. And brand deals works to a degree, but you can't go like full on brand deals unless people are going to be starting to like full-time associate with a specific brand, which doesn't necessarily seem like it'd work out in favor of the brands. But I don't know where funding is going for creators and creative outlets at the moment. And that's why we're not seeing, back to our original discussion of the esports, that's why we're not seeing any competition to these super privatized esports leagues that are publisher owned, because no one can afford to run them. Like the whole, like, I think it was ESL and a couple other smaller leagues that were trying to keep Halo alive and things like that. Those ended up falling apart because the events were pretty crap and the situations just weren't great and they couldn't keep up with it. And that's why MLG was so great to have like a neutral third party, but now everyone's going publisher specific and we're not going to see a big competitor to that for a while. And the same thing with content creation and game development. Like you have the top 1% and then this like slight middle ground that can do it, and then there's a whole huge spectrum of other stuff that we haven't figured out how to fund yet. And I'm both very interested to see where that funding is going to come from and very scared to see if that funding doesn't come at all and we only get like super AAA titles and super homegrown indie titles in terms of game development. Content creators are going to be kind of screwed, things like that. So I don't know. It's possible that ad revenue is going to build a new bubble as advertising moves more heavily from traditional media to the digital age and invest more, because advertisement CPM on traditional media is like exponentially higher than on, say, YouTube. Like an ad on television is like $25 CPM, whereas an ad on YouTube is $3 on a good day, $1 on average. And so it's possible that that bubble would like transition over, however, probably unlikely since they already get it so cheap. Although AdWords has already grown drastically more expensive from where it was in the 90s, so it's possible, but we'll have to see. Just wanted to clear my head of these thoughts and share this discussion with you. If you found it interesting, smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave me your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'll see you back in a more regular video for whatever you're watching this channel on. See ya.